Four-wheel drive in Portugal, the A.T.V Championship Round 2, and the man to keep an eye to is Fernando Perez, making his presence known. The Escort, a rally car among the four-wheel drive vehicles here, the off-roaders, but on this stage, more like a rally stage, sets a time of 3:41 and proves himself to be the man to watch. But going very well here is João Vassalo with his Mitsubishi in the T2 category, only 3 seconds behind Perez in spite of the water splash and everything else as well, which of course this car is well suited to. Third place, Santos Goldino with the Renault prototype. The rough terrain causes, however, an early retirement for this car. While the second of the Renault prototypes, João Garcia, puts on a great show, only 7 seconds behind the winner of this prologue stage. That's Rio Sousa winning his category there. And Jose Fino with the Taranto following. As 8th place we have Filipe Oliveira with the Deltona, 15 seconds behind the winner. You and I would call it a Lancia, but that's neither here nor there. Windows blacked out at the back there, but dealing with this very rough terrain well indeed. With Filipe Campos next up, taking 2nd place in the T2 category in number 6. This is Carlos Sousa, fairly close to his departure for Tunisia, where he's going to compete in the 2nd of the World Championship rallies there. While the diesel category is always interesting, Carlos Rola achieving the best time there. The Renault Twango, we don't see any Twangos over in UK, but this is an immensely popular little car, and personally I find it quite fascinating that they're finding their way in competition. The water splash there is perhaps a little bit bigger than some people had anticipated it would be, with the prologue with Fernando Perez establishing the best time. The second day of the competition, which is really the rough stuff, 260 kilometers, and a radiator tube breaks with overheating, and the Escort is to retire during the course of this huge stage. Gordino is the man to watch. Gordino, 1 minute 25:48. With Vassalo, 3rd fastest, really stretching it here. Intercooler causing him a few problems. Lost him a bit of time. Nevertheless, very much the man to watch. A good start for Carlos Sousa. Finished 3rd overall, 1st in the T1 category. And this is a very determined drive indeed. Scrabbling for a bit of grip there, but remarkable handling on some of these more rally-type bits of the stage, as the Lada here did not disgrace itself, running in 4th place. De Sousa, one of the 5 fastest drivers overall in the T1 category in 51. While Garcia was the man who set the pace to win, but had a couple of flat tyres. That lost him some time, and so he fell back to 3rd. Determined effort on his part. But the tyres letting him down. Carlos Rola's Toyota, fastest in the diesel category, but then he had some mechanical problems too and had to retire. So a sad end to his event here, as Filipe Campos, the closest rival to Vassalo, up in the T2 category, running in the top 10. Fino making a good time also in the top 10. Half of the rally run, tyre problems slowing Garcia, but picks up the pace a little bit. But the Renault driver not having some luck here because he now has alternator problems to add to the difficulties that have really created his nightmare of an event here, which theoretically he could have won. Sousa with the Mitsubishi, a trouble-free run, moves up to second, leads the T1 category, and treating with respect here his entry into the water, which is one of the indications, I think, of the care that he put into it, which is why he probably didn't have the problems that others did. And you can see, in fact, some of those problems as the indicator replaced. Vassalo moves himself up to third. De Sousa, a good event, ruined his chances with the Torano's engine, however, giving way in the end. Ending up stuck in the middle there. A tow out, however. Santos Godinho falls behind as a result of towing him out. Very sporting activity on his part. Co-driver has left the maps alone, cooling himself down with a paddle in the water. No doubt will steam everything up when he gets back in the car. The Portuguese have a habit of making jokes about the Brazilians, and here in fact we see in real trouble Fino, who really wasn't using his brain too much and set off down the river. Was way back in 10th place, second in the T1 category. That's where he was going to stay all day, but now he actually has found the way out of the river. He's perhaps a happy man. Filipe Oliveira's Lance here, another victim here in the water. And cool water and hot engines, particularly turbocharged ones, can finish up with awful problems for you. While the test Nissans here, Luis Diaz, a good 5th place for him. Vassalo gave his adversaries no opportunity here, however, to come through to win. A very good run on his part. So Vassalo, the man to win with the Mitsubishi. We had a chance to talk to him and he said that it really went well for him. Didn't go so well for some of the other competitors, but he's absolutely delighted. The second competition that he's won this year. Carlos Sousa, a good second. That was his overall place and first in T1. And Sousa, obviously equally delighted. He is the national champion. And certainly, as far as he's concerned, very happy with this.
Que é uma prova tipo Rally Raid, embora este ano, muito sinceramente, gostei, foi o ano que eu mais gostei, uma vez que defendeu pouco os carros de todo terreno.
Meanwhile, Filipe Campos took a fine 3rd place, the only driver fighting Vassalo in the championship in the T2 category. Had some problems in the morning, he explains, with those flat tyres. A bad choice of tyres was the reason why that he fell back, but the afternoon went well for him. While 4th place went to Santos Godinho. Garcia's problems meant 6th place was the best that he could get. Very disappointed because he'd set his heart on winning the championship. And the Renault prototype certainly was the class of the field, but he explains that he lost the race because of a wire that had broken in the alternator. And that's what competition's all about. There's always next time, so he's fairly philosophical about it. There is a next time. This was the second of these events, and the present points position sees Vassalo with 490 points leading T2, Campos 456 second in T2 with a Nissan Torano, and then Carlos Sousa 452 points in the T1 category with a Mitsubishi.